All living beings coexist, and at times, even the mightiest of them needs help. Today, we will show you 45 times animals asked people for help and kindness, highlighting the role of humanity in situations of need. This could be one of the worst things for pet owners. Remaining calm is crucial when a dog experiences a seizure, as stress can exacerbate the situation. Thankfully, the composed actions of a woman in this instance played a vital role in saving the pet's life. This hopeless dog fell into a deep hole and cried for help. Fortunately, a hero arrived and placed a ladder down to assist the dog. This may be fun to see, but take note that these little ducks are in danger of being trapped inside the pool while their mother looks after them from the side. The mother duck shows her trust and never fails. Fortunately, the lady saves the ducks. Rescuers arrived to save a baby and mother elephant trapped in a muddy pit. The baby elephant was rescued first, but its strong bond with its mother compelled it to return to her side repeatedly. Their rescue efforts demonstrated the powerful love between a mother and her child. As the bikers rode by, they spotted a baby moose on their path. They kindly offered it food and drink to quench its thirst and hunger.
What's wrong, but my cow keeps crying.
What's wrong, Faith? Why do you keep crying? Can you not find your ball?
Meet Faith, the cow who's feeling upset because she lost her ball. The reason this is significant is that Faith was born blind, and without the assistance of her owner, she would have never been able to locate it. That ball brings her immense joy and is her source of happiness in life.
Here's your ball.
There. Is that much better, darling? She loves that ball. Are you happy now, Faith?
The Swedish ducklings were trapped in a manhole, leaving the mother duck with nothing to do but trust this man to save her babies. Thankfully, the babies were saved by this man, and the ducklings were reunited with their mother, proving it was the best decision she made. These individuals went to great lengths to feed the hungry cheetahs, even putting their own safety at risk. Sometimes not all predators always come out on top. There are moments when they find themselves in a precarious situation, just like this eagle that got into an unexpected predicament, entangled by a snake, rendering it unable to move. Fortunately, a kind-hearted person came to its rescue. It's winter and these pigs must be starving, so they have no choice but to move close to people. Fortunately, this man never hesitated to stay and fed them so that they can survive hunger. Talking about horses, this rescued horse has a spine deformity called lordosis or swayback. Due to its condition, the horse has entered early retirement and is receiving proper medication and care to ensure its well-being. Many of us may despise frogs, but not this time, just like this woman who saved the frogs from drowning through resuscitation. This eagle found itself completely trapped in a mud bank, and the photographer immediately recognized the need to rescue it, regardless of the risks involved. Driven by compassion, the photographer bravely endangered his life to save the eagle. Local firefighters also helped, and they fed the eagle until it regained its strength. A kind-hearted person found this tiny mouse trapped in a flower pot and gently freed it by tapping its head. The mouse closed its eyes and felt the loving touch of its savior. Moments later, it was free and escaped. Upon the arrival of this fox, a compassionate lady noticed that it was limping, possibly due to an injury. Recognizing the fox's inability to feed itself due to its condition, the lady kindly provided it with food. It's truly remarkable how life can take unexpected turns, just like the bear trapped under a hole, fighting for survival. Thankfully, attentive individuals were able to spot the bear's predicament and extend a helping hand. A stranded osprey was spotted battling against fishing line while trying to swim ashore. Acting swiftly, the rescuers retrieved a surfboard and a knife, successfully freeing the bird from the entanglement. In a challenging predicament, the parakeet became stranded and incapable of flying or escaping the water. Fortunately, a compassionate passerby happened upon the scene and extended a helping hand. This little badger found herself alone and lost her mother. Desperate for help, she persistently followed strangers seeking help. She held on to people tightly, never giving up. Thankfully, these compassionate individuals recognized her need and brought her to the local wildlife rescue, ensuring her safety and protecting her from potential harm. This baby giraffe calf was born with an unusual disorder that caused her legs to bend the wrong way. However, these kind-hearted people did their best to create custom-molded carbon graphite orthotic braces so she could enjoy her life like the others. After 39 days, the kindness of these people brought a lifelong gratitude to the giraffe. This 300-pound polar bear was stranded on a rocky cliff with nowhere to go. Rescuers made an intense effort to save it. Through their collective efforts, they managed to save the bear from death. This newborn puppy has been accidentally suffocated by her mother, so this man performed life-saving CPR, successfully reviving it. Thanks to his quick actions, the puppy began breathing again and was reunited with its mother. This dehydrated koala was saved by this kind cyclist. This horse, named Angel Marie, may appear pitiful due to its condition. However, Animal Ortho Care in Virginia has developed prosthetics and non-invasive treatments to restore its ability to walk. Their objective is to improve animals' lives by providing orthotics and prosthetics that address disabilities resulting from trauma, illness, or age. Warning, this video may bring you to tears. A polar bear in Russia got its tongue stuck in a tin can, driven by desperation in search of food. Fortunately, a rescue team was able to save the bear and provide the necessary assistance. Poor bear. Don't worry, humans will never let you down. The fire rescue team initiated a complete rescue operation solely for the sake of a small parrot. Look at these number of people genuinely invested in the well-being and fate of this bird. This looks unusual, but this cute baby bear just wanted to express its gratitude to the person who saved its life from forest fire by cuddling with him. Despite being initially thought to be dead, a shark found on the beach surprised onlookers by moving, revealing its will to survive. With the help of a man, the shark was supported in the water until it regained strength and eventually swam away, demonstrating its determination to live. This baby elephant desperately wanted to get up and go to his mother. However, despite its efforts, it was unable to get up and was exhausted and helpless. Fortunately, these people arrived to rescue it. They used an excavator to help the elephant. And after hours of dedicated work, they successfully freed it. Take a look at these two adorable little badgers. They've clearly found comfort and safety in each other's company. Let's appreciate the Wildlife Center's efforts. Their lives have undergone remarkable transformations because of them. Who would ever think this tiny creature would be trapped in a skylight? If you haven't seen a hummingbird up close, look at this little bird rescued by this man after noticing it couldn't find its exit. These 3 foxes have found their home with this lady who pets them and treats them as family. The contagious laughter of this fox is truly heartwarming, and it demonstrates that there are no barriers when it comes to love, even with wild animals. This orangutan unexpectedly slipped into the river and was on the verge of drowning. Fortunately, the hero zookeeper sprang into action and rescued it from the water. This sea turtle ended up in a tough spot, stranded upside down above the high tide line, with no chance of the tide coming back for weeks. Luckily, 2 guys showed up like real heroes, being a true blessing for the turtle and giving it the much-needed help. This bull elk seems to be helpless as it has been trapped in a muddy marsh. Then 2 brave heroes came to its rescue, risking their own lives in the process. This starling got trapped behind a pipe, and it's frightening to imagine that without this man's help, predators would have had a feast. How much do you love your pet? This puppy has been attacked by an alligator, but in a heroic act, the owner jumps right into the pond and saves their furry friend. Luckily, the puppy has been rescued. The unfortunate skunk became frozen to the ice, putting its survival at risk. However, when the man arrived, it appeared that the skunk placed its trust in him.
Hey, he's free!
Just picture stumbling upon these adorable little creatures in the most unexpected location. 3 tiny kittens were discovered in the garbage, desperately crying out for help. Thankfully, the garbage man showed incredible care and kindness, ensuring they will soon find a loving home. The Italian rescue service successfully saved a wolf trapped in icy water in Bologna. The emergency team urgently performed resuscitation procedures to revive the wolf. They provided the best care and assistance to help the wolf regain its strength. Their unwavering determination and tender care gave a trapped wolf a second life, setting it free to roam the wilderness once again. No one knew how long the mother bear had been guarding the dumpster in the middle of a lonely road. But one thing was certain, the heroic efforts of these people were the only hope for her 3 cubs to survive.
All 3 in there. I thought there was just 1.
Well, there was just 1. The other 2 climbed in there.
This is Betty, one of the 6 friendly alligators who has become quite a popular attraction among people who enjoy giving them treats. Despite their intimidating appearance, these alligators have developed a unique bond with people, showcasing the potential for understanding and coexistence between humans and wildlife. This cat got stuck inside a hole, helpless and confused about what to do. Incredibly, someone risked his life. This real-life hero provided help and rescued the cat from its dangerous situation, showing humanity still exists in every single and unique way. These people went the extra mile to feed this tricky fox. Their determination and genuine kindness paid off big time as they gradually won the fox's trust. And guess what? The fox finally took a bite of the food they offered, forging a special connection between these humans and their foxy friend. These 8 tiny raccoons are trapped in a big dumpster. They had no chance of getting out on their own until this kind-hearted man came along. He didn't leave anyone until they were all freed.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Most of us fear snakes, but what if this deadly predator actually needs our help? Meet this python with an insatiable appetite. To everyone's surprise, its desperate cravings drove it to swallow a 1-meter-long towel. Thankfully, skilled veterinarians successfully extracted it from the snake's body. Out in the boundless desert, the helpless cries of a baby camel echoed without response. But against all odds, a fortunate twist of fate brought forth a man who rescued and reunited the little camel with its mother. After losing its mom right after birth, the little baby horse was exhausted and desperately searched for even a single drop of milk. Its weakness rendered it almost immobile. However, an incredible turn of events unfolded when they rescued the foal, provided care, and found a foster mom. In a world filled with uncertainty, it's incredibly challenging for a predator like this wolf to trust a human. However, in a surprising turn of events, the wolf discovered that a human offered a better alternative to the agonizing prospect of a slow death from thirst. Cats are usually independent and can handle themselves, but not this one. It found itself stuck in a tree and couldn't come down. These people noticed, brought a ladder, climbed up, and saved the stranded kitty. This little Colugo ventured into a backyard and, completely unaware of how overwhelming it could be, it quickly realized it was lost and unable to find its way back. Thanks to this man who happened to be there, the Colugo was safely reunited with its home. We can prove that innate goodness in people still exists. This baby sloth was helped by this person to be reunited with its mother. If only the mother sloth could speak, surely nothing but gratitude would come from its mouth. Sadly, this elephant lost one of its limbs and could no longer survive in the wild. But thanks to the compassion and expertise of some amazing individuals, it received a specially crafted prosthesis. Now this incredible creature has been given a second chance to walk and thrive once more. Two deer had an intense battle, fighting to be the alpha. Their antlers got tangled and they ended up in the freezing river. These kind people nearby used a stick to untangle them. The deer had no choice but to stop fighting and go their own ways. This pitiful fox had its head stuck in a glass jar, desperately searching for a way out. Losing hope, it could only rely on the chance that some kind-hearted humans would pass by, and luckily they did. They came to the rescue just in time. This deer has been trapped in a swamp, unable to move, and losing hope of escaping its fate. But then hope came when a group of compassionate people stepped in and saved the deer from its heartbreaking situation. This goat started suffocating after getting tangled up in ropes while on a walk with the other goats. The owner didn't give up and successfully breathed life back into her by performing CPR, reviving the goat from the brink of death. This poor little hedgehog got into a tough spot, but along came someone with a big heart. She took the hedgehog under her care, providing the support it needed until it could get back on its feet. Hats off to this kind soul for their dedication and love for animals. Despite the inherent elusiveness of foxes towards humans, this particular fox approached the Ukrainian soldier because of the sausage offered. It wasn't just about the food, it was also about the offer of friendship. This little squirrel was in a real fight for its life after almost drowning, but thanks to some amazing people who didn't hesitate to step in and perform CPR, the squirrel was rescued and made a remarkable recovery. It's a heartwarming example of how human kindness can save even the smallest creatures. It was supposed to be a fun day by the river, but things took a turn for the worst when this dog got into trouble and started to drown. Without hesitation, the man sprang into action and successfully saved his beloved pet. Imagine what would have happened if no one had noticed the armadillo struggling to stay afloat. It would have faced the constant threat of drowning until its last breath. Thankfully, this man happened to pass by and came to its rescue, saving it from such a dire fate. This poor little thing fell into a pitch-black basement in the middle of the night and was scared out of its wits. But miraculously, it quickly figured out how to use the stairs and find its way to safety.
Off the ledge. Yep. Come on.
While out fishing, this couple quickly stopped upon spotting a baby bear in the river. The bear had a tub filled with water stuck on its head, and its survival time was limited to just a couple of hours. But because of their heroic deed, the bear was able to survive. This bird's life was spared from imminent peril as the compassionate fisherman came to its rescue, swiftly discovering a plastic bottle lodged in its throat and fearlessly extracting it without a moment's hesitation. A baby raccoon was trapped in a basketball net, but Los Angeles animal rescue crews successfully freed it while the mother raccoon anxiously watched nearby. Rescuers used scissors to cut the net, allowing the baby to quickly reunite with its relieved mother. This raccoon got itself into a real pickle when its curiosity led it to get stuck inside a tree. Fortunately, a rescue service came to the rescue and had to literally cut it out of there. Don't worry though, the raccoon is now safe and sound. Let's hope this coon thinks twice before poking its nose where it doesn't belong next time.
Next a little earth here.
Okay.
These fishermen were out to catch a massive fish, but they got more than they bargained for. Out of nowhere, a gutsy bear decided to hitch a ride on their boat, desperately trying to make its way to safety on the shore. You won't believe what happened. These adorable birds approached this person and requested food. Can you imagine? They came in line and patiently waited for their turn to be served. It was such a heartwarming sight to see these feathered friends showing such trust in humans. The squirrel found itself in a life-threatening situation, struggling to stay afloat in the deep blue pool. Fortunately, a compassionate man came to its rescue just in time, pulling it out of the water and saving it from a potential tragedy.
Are you gonna live? Oh yeah, I'm good.
What would you do if, upon waking up, these hungry foxes were waiting for you and seemed to be expecting to be fed? This is what happened here, where a group of foxes were fed bread. Tasty breakfast. British students heard a woman's cry for help. The guys immediately rushed to the rescue and very quickly pulled the dog out of trouble. It turned out that the curious dog jumped on the fence, could not keep its balance, and fell down. Fortunately, the dog was not injured. This man helped free a skunk that had its head trapped in a plastic cup, leaving both of them in shock afterward. When this skater noticed a rabbit stuck in a skate park bowl, he didn't think twice. Without hesitation, he jumped in to help the furry little creature. With his quick actions, he rescued the rabbit from its predicament, showing that compassion knows no limits. This sloth was moving at its own relaxed pace, as if it were strolling on the moon. It would have probably taken ages for the sloth to reach the other side all by itself, but guess what? This driver happened to come along, noticed the sloth's slow progress, and gave a helping hand. This kind-hearted lady noticed a hungry squirrel and offered some tasty walnuts. A beautiful friendship blossomed between them, which proved that a simple act of kindness can create bonds with the incredible creatures that share our world.
I just want you to know that.
I'm sure your hearts will be touched by how this man quenched the thirst of this bird with water. It truly shows that when a person is willing to help, they will find any possible way without hesitation. It seems like one of Santa's reindeer found itself in a bit of a pickle, but don't worry, this guy came to the rescue. He fearlessly saved the reindeer from the deep snow, making sure Santa's mission could carry on smoothly. This red fox got stuck with its paw in a tree while on the hunt for food. Helpless and waiting for a miracle, along came a kind-hearted guy who became its second chance at life. He rescued the fox and gave it a new lease on freedom. These cool bird parents decided to build their nest right on some power lines, totally oblivious to the danger it posed for their little ones. But guess what? A kind worker noticed the risky situation and took action. While this hungry skunk was searching for food, its head got stuck inside a jar, moving and circling around. Thankfully, this woman put aside her fears and decided to help. This incredible man has dedicated years of his life to protecting the Laura turtle species. Every day, he invites people to join him in releasing these precious creatures back into the wild. His compassion for these vulnerable animals is beyond words. This monkey tried everything to save the kitten inside a well who was crying out for help. Although it couldn't do much, it managed to get people's attention, and now they have both found a friend for life. Even the mightiest birds need a break sometimes. That's why this black vulture decided to approach this man and ask for a unique perch on his paraglider. And you know what? Who could resist such a request from a feathered friend? This cute little hummingbird flew right in front of the window as if it were asking for a drink of water. How could this man say no? And let me tell you, watching a hummingbird drink is something you've got to see. This cute little puppy got itself trapped in a shop window, causing quite a stir. But the clever customers came to the rescue, using a trusty hanger to set the puppy free. This poor bird got stuck when its wing got caught in adhesive tape. It was trying to fly but remained unsuccessful. Fortunately, these people noticed it, helped the bird, and gained its trust. This lizard may have accepted that this was going to be the end of its life, but this woman came to the rescue and gave a brand new hope to the lizard. This bat found itself stuck in a golf pond, unable to take off from the water. It was in a desperate situation with no way to escape, but thankfully this person came to its rescue. If this biker had blinked, he might have never seen this little cat huddled in the most dangerous of places. Without hesitating, he pulled over and saved the frightened kitten, moments away from disaster.
Loulou, qu'est-ce que tu fais ici? Oh, Loulou.
When this sea lion washed up on a beach, things were looking very bleak. Luckily, it will live to swim another day after these people freed it from a fishing net that threatened its life.
Теперь быстро сейчас все убегай. Да, убегайте.
This baby elephant was stuck in the mud. The distressed mother frantically attempts to dig out her child, but all in vain. Luckily, these rescuers arrived just in time and took over the strenuous rescue of the animal. Once in a while, a person does a good deed that restores all faith in humanity. And that's what this heroic dad did to save this baby deer from drowning. The ending will surely warm your heart. This baby shark was trapped by the low tide in a rock pool. Without a second thought, this brave girl picked up the creature and delicately carried it over rocks toward deeper water. A wild rabbit had its neck twisted up in a mini soccer net, thanks to this kind man who jumped into action and freed the animal from an unfortunate situation.
No. Just wait, buddy. Just got this.
Oh!
If you encounter a bobcat, the best course of action is to back away slowly. But sometimes you might let your sense of duty overcome your fears. That's the choice this guy was faced with when he encountered an angry bobcat stuck in a trap.
Okay, you're out. You're out, dude.
This giraffe somehow fell into a swimming pool. Luckily, the rescue team arrived just in time, and after 3 hours, the animal eventually climbed out of the pool without a scratch. A day of gliding across a frozen lake turned into a dramatic rescue for a group of Swedish skaters after they caught sight of a moose trapped in a sheet of ice. This guy's selfless effort deserves a nice round of applause. This piglet fell into a well and was extremely exhausted after desperately struggling to hold his head above water. That's when a heroic helper rushed down into the watery pit to save its life. Police officers and firefighters go beyond the call of duty to break up the ice before guiding the horse out from this sticky situation. It was definitely a challenge, but they made it.
Almost there. There we go.
This sloth was found in the middle of a river, certainly not where it should be. However, he was definitely not prepared for what came next, as he enjoyed what will probably be the fastest ride of his life.
Oh no, you need to do your job.
There we go.
This video shows a little pooch whimpering as a snake wrapped itself around its body. As difficult as this task seems, the three boys showed great courage and saved the dog from the situation. These boaters came across this sea lion with a fishing line wrapped around its neck. This line had caused a bit of damage already and would probably kill it soon if not removed. However, the animal finally got a taste of freedom.
Reverse. Right in the shoulder, right here. That's all the reversals. Yeah, right? Okay, let's try and get a tight door. I think we're gonna let her go here. You're doing good, right, girl? There's your eyes.
This dog stuck in floodwaters clearly knew these humans were here to help, because as the boat neared the terrified animal, he transitioned his paws from the railing to the side of the boat. This elderly man showed his mettle and selflessness when he jumped into a frozen swimming pool to rescue his dog. This guy is the definition of a guardian angel. This female panda got into trouble while trying to cross a power station and fell into the river. Police then tranquilized the animal, rescued it, and released her back into the wild successfully. Despite being caught in a leg trap, a frightened lynx was able to return to the wild on all 4 legs thanks to this gentleman who went to great lengths to free the animal. A leisurely boat trip in Lake Travis turned into a rescue mission for this man after he spotted a baby deer struggling to swim in the middle of the lake. I don't want to think about what would have happened if it wasn't for this guy. Now here's the most amazing demonstration of loyalty I've seen. Throughout the rescue mission, a second pufferfish stayed right beside the one stuck in the fishing line, refusing to leave until his companion was as free as he was. After a massive flood, these animals found themselves stranded with no way to get down. Luckily, rescuers brought in a crane and lowered the cattle one by one from the rooftops. This poor horse got stuck in the water drain on the top hill. Luckily, the helicopter's captain flew to the scene and took the horse toward safety. That's a badass way to rescue an animal. This family of African elephants was so exhausted and had given up all hopes of living after being trapped in a mud hole. Luckily, these rescuers arrived just in time and took care of the complicated rescue of the giants. This dog was so depressed and had given up all hopes of living after being trapped on a chunk of ice. Thankfully, God had placed some special angels on his path.
5-6 rated, can you roll rescue? This female's confused and wants to check out.
These men risked their lives to rescue a black bear cub stuck in a hunting trap. It's not as easy as it looks, but they made it. This duck was trapped under the ice and guaranteed to die if no one would save it. But here comes this compassionate couple who saved the poor bird from this life-threatening situation. These horses escaped a farm and fell through the ice in the middle of a frozen lake. Thankfully, rescue workers arrived quickly, using chainsaws to cut through the lake and create a trench to walk the horses out. This hunter spotted a deer stuck in a tree and tried to free the frightened animal with a chainsaw. Imagine how terrified the deer must have been as the man sawed the tree only a few inches away from its head in order to dislodge the creature. When these cyclists noticed a deer fighting for its life in muddy waters, they stepped right in to assist the animal. After some selfless effort, the deer was finally safe. What would you do if one of the largest sea predators asked you for help? These freedivers didn't think twice when they had to remove a hook stuck in this shark's mouth. You better think twice next time you carelessly toss your plastic utensils away. You never know where they could end up. For this sea turtle, someone's fork ended up in its nostril, but it was lucky enough to find itself in the hands of kind-hearted people. It is always a beautiful sight to see people coming forward to help animals, and these men set a new example of compassion as they risk their lives to rescue a severely injured wolf dying in an icy river. This man spotted a turtle in the middle of the road, and he did what any quick-thinking hero would do. He pulled over and got the turtle out of danger. Kindness at its finest. This video shows a daring rescue in floodwaters as high as 7 feet. It took 2 people to kick down the door and retrieve a puppy, who was stranded for 3 weeks on a couch floating in the flooded home.
I got you. Go ahead, scrub. There we go.
I need med bag.
It is always a beautiful sight to see people coming forward to help animals, and this man sets a new example of kindness as he quenches the thirst of a stray dog. This quick-thinking zookeeper dramatically pulled a drowning orangutan from a pond after it slipped in trying to reach food thrown by a visitor. This guy proves the statement that not all heroes wear capes. This dog collapsed from breathing too much smoke after being pulled from a fire, and this kind-hearted firefighter went above and beyond to save the pooch's life from certain death. That's the motto this toddler followed. Watch him diligently feed the hungry birds with a chopstick. You don't get the chance to save an animal in need every day, but when you do, you must take it. And these divers did what any man of the hour would do after they spotted a fishing rope wrapped around the whale shark's body. In this video, the police officers were racing after a dog who had been swept by a flash flood. One risks his life by jumping into the waters to save the dog from certain death. This guy deserves a medal of bravery. There's an old stereotype about firefighters rescuing cats from trees, but this one never imagined he'd get the call to haul a tranquilized cougar out of a tree. Now here's something you don't see every day. This neglected dog found comfort when this kind vet climbed into her cage and sat by her until she felt brave enough to eat her breakfast. Without a doubt, babies always get themselves in sticky situations, and it was no different for this tiny bird. Thankfully, this guy arrived just in time and saved the poor bird from certain death. As a few kids ride their scooters nearby, within moments, a man comes holding a few mini road cones and does this to ensure the cat's safety. These bikers came across this duck family trying to cross the road in a pretty dangerous place, so they pulled over and helped them out. Kindness at its finest.
Well done.
If you've ever left sports gear outside after playing, this video will make you think twice next time. These coyote pups were tangled in a soccer net, unable to free themselves, until this kind man came to their rescue. When this baby fox got its head stuck in a jar, its animal instincts must have alerted it to the fact. Only a helping human hand could save the day, and that's what this guy did. While this old man doesn't seem to have the energy to be able to swing himself on the swing, he is thoroughly enjoying seeing his dog happy, a rare act of compassion. This guy was out on the water when he saw a sea turtle in desperate need of help after having an extremely tight net wrapped around its neck. It was definitely a challenge, but he made it. Sometimes, even the smallest acts of kindness can make a big difference, especially when it costs nothing to do. Just like this guy helping a tiny duckling climb up some stairs too big for him. Several people joined hands to rescue this baby humpback whale that was stranded on a beach. After long efforts, the giant creature swam away, creating a wild celebration from the rescuers on the beach. The world is full of people who show compassion towards animals. In one such act of kindness, this person bought birds from a seller only to set them free. A TikTok dance routine turned into a heart-pounding rescue mission after this girl had to dive into her swimming pool to save her precious dog from drowning. Nothing is more dangerous than an animal that thinks you want to hurt it, but this brave guy did not hesitate to help this angry mountain lion in distress. This video shows a man standing beside a stray cat trying to use his umbrella to cover it in the heavy rain. The man then fixed his umbrella to the guardrails to cover the feline and left the scene. This guy spotted this dog struggling in an icy cold pond, and he did what any quick-thinking hero would do. He hopped in and created a path for the dog to reach shore.
I see it come out. Oh, I'm cold. Come back here. Look, there's the only smart dog in the whole bunch right there.
This rescue team received a call about an abandoned kitten stuck in a net for over 2 weeks. They sprung into action, and what could have been the end of its days turned into a happy ending. It is no secret that monkeys love eating bananas. Having that in mind, this kind man decided to throw a feast for these wild monkeys. This is the heartbreaking story of a horse with hooves so long he could barely walk, allegedly abandoned in a barn for over 10 years. Thanks to this rescuer who selflessly helped the poor animal, the horse now has the life it deserves. This man stepped into raging waters and risked his own life for one heroic reason: to rescue a mule that was stuck in the middle of the river. This guy is the definition of a guardian angel. A man can be seen providing water to a thirsty cat, having poured it into his cupped hands from a tap the kitty couldn't reach. Simple as it may be, there's something incredibly moving about this scene. This stray dog was found on the street. You could barely tell it was a dog as his body was covered in matted hair. That's when a kind dog groomer stepped in to help, and the transformation was truly incredible. You've You've heard of dogs receiving badges of honor, but have you ever seen the Majesty's Army honor the prowess of a penguin? Even if it didn't do much, these soldiers were kind enough to promote him to the rank of brigadier. It could have been the most tragic trip to the park of this girl's life. Fortunately, this passerby got wind of the situation and swiftly started CPR to rescue the dog and give it a second chance.
And get some water too.
Oh, sure. I can smell it. Oh, poor boy. Sugar girl.
Now here is an emotional clip of a man helping two monkeys drink water from a bottle. This guy's selfless effort deserves a nice round of applause. Some might say it was a bit of a prickly situation, but luckily this tiny hedgehog was rescued after getting its head stuck in a plastic jar. Just because someone is down on their luck doesn't mean they're short on love. And this homeless man proves just that. He throws a birthday party for his two dogs, sings them happy birthday, gives them hugs, and treats them to cake. Not all heroes have to wear capes, and this guy is one of them as he took the time to rescue a tiny bird that found itself in a sticky situation. The ending will surely warm your heart.
Here we go, little birdie. You go ahead and fly away.
After going on a walk with the shelter dogs, the worker thought they were barking a little too much. That's when he checked why and found 3 kittens who desperately needed a safe home. Their helpless meowing definitely made the difference. This passerby spotted a tiny dog near the water fountain. In a bid to help, he turned on the fountain, cupped his hands into a bowl, and fed the thirsty fella. In a world where you can be anything, be kind. This heartwarming video shows a man helping 2 ducks build their nest. What is likely the most adorable video you'll see. We love to see kindness in action. These wild foxes were struggling to get out of this empty pool, but all in vain. Thankfully, this young yet brave guy saw what was going on and did not hesitate to help the poor animals in distress. Soaring temperatures landed this bird in a very unfortunate situation after it became so dehydrated, but a kind man arrived and splashed the bird with life-saving water. This guy was walking his dog along the reservoir in New York when he saw the 2 other dogs who had fallen through the ice. He did what any dog lover would do. He leaped in to save the day. This baby monkey decided it was time to ask humans for help when it became extremely thirsty. The way this man gently helps it drink water from a cup will warm your heart. This poor calf got stuck in the middle of the iced-over pond. A quick-thinking helicopter pilot flew to the scene, hovered over the pond, and pushed the calf toward safety. That's a badass way to rescue an animal. This This pup was fighting for its life as it was stuck in molten rubberized asphalt. Fortunately, nearby workers heard the panic in the dog's cries, quickly got an excavator, and saved its life. While most of us get scared at the very mention of a cobra, this man went out of his way to help the reptile who was trapped in a fishnet before offering it water from a bottle. This adorable koala would probably not have survived due to a food shortage in a burnt forest area, but this kind couple decided to pull over and give it a ride to safety. This Brazilian goose with a severely broken beak was rescued from the brink of death. Thankfully, these vets made a 3D printed beak that mimics the functions of the original, so it could be a healthy bird again. I don't always agree with the use of modern technology, but this example is golden. A poor vulture who lost its mother couldn't survive on its own, so a rescue team used a drone to deliver some water and food and help it thrive. This tiny squirrel was drowning in a pool. Luckily, the pool guy found it, gave it CPR, and nursed it back to health. Every life, no matter how small, is worth saving. This rescue team received a call about a stray dog whose head was stuck in a plastic jar for over 2 days. They did not hesitate to jump into action and save the poor animal from certain death. Watch these elephants block people's way to ask them for help as their baby was trapped in an abandoned well. Fortunately, 2 men lifted the heavy creature out of trouble. It was a happy ending as the calf was reunited with her mother. This man risked his life to rescue a timber wolf stuck in a hunting trap. It's a beautiful creature and a kind man, but I have to admit my heart was pounding watching this. This thirsty elk decided it was time to ask humans for help when it became extremely thirsty. The way this man helps it drink water from a bottle will fill your heart with warmth.
Доливай, доливай. Доливай, ну животное пить хочет.
While battling a bushfire in Australia, this firefighter stumbled across a distressed baby kangaroo covered in dirt and ash. And he did what any quick-thinking hero would do. He leaped in to save the day.
Hey!
After seeing a guy in distress, this sheriff quickly used his baton to break the car's back window to save the poor dog from the burning SUV. A true hero. This kangaroo went on an adventure and got a little more than he asked for. That's why the Australia Zoo Rescue Unit sprung into action and got him up to safety on dry land. A happy ending indeed. These kayakers noticed a moose calf being swept away by the current, clearly in distress.
I got ya. Yeah.
So they sprung into action and rescued this little lady moose who is lucky to see another day.
It's okay. It's okay, buddy. Hey, buddy. Hey. It's okay. Pretty cold. Yeah.
This dog was abandoned and tied to a post by the side of the road. He would have become a meal for blood-sucking parasites if it wasn't for his rescuer kindly giving him another chance at life. After falling from a tree, this tiny koala's life was in real danger. But thanks to this devoted rescuer, everything went back to normal quickly. The moment the concerned mother is reunited with her baby is so heartwarming. This fox cub was hopping around a man's garden with its head firmly stuck in a tin can. Luckily, this kind man pulled it off the poor animal's head, who very quickly said thank you. This man dove into a pit of mud and risked his own life for one heroic reason: to rescue an impala that was stuck in the thick mud. The way it acts after recovering its freedom is beautiful to see. This dog was missing for 5 days before firefighters found it wedged tightly between two concrete walls. They quickly busted out the saws and sledgehammers and got to work. And there it was, alive and safe again. Babies always get themselves in sticky situations, and it was no different for this little bear cub. A few more minutes and he would have perished without the quick-thinking intervention of this guy.
Не бойся, не бойся, не бойся. Садись туда к мотору.
This dramatic video shows dogs barking and standing on their hind legs as they see a volunteer rescuer coming to their aid. Seconds after he unlocks the fence, the dogs swim out, whimpering and howling.
Come on. Let's go. Over here. Come on. Nice puppy. Come on. Come on.
This unlucky cow got an unrequested mud bath and found itself trapped. That's when a smart construction worker stepped in to save him with the help of his excavator. This guy saw a kangaroo stuck upside down in a barbed fence and decided to help it. He bravely approached the animal and freed the weakened fella. This heartbreaking video shows 3 helpless puppies found abandoned on the street, trapped in rock-solid tar. Luckily, these rescuers heard their agonizing cries of pain and gave them a new chance at life. This baby elephant was struggling to survive for 3 days in an abandoned well. That's when these rescuers arrived just in time to save the poor animal, who had given up all hopes of living. You don't get the chance to save an animal in need every day, but when you do, you must take it and act swiftly. This is exactly what this guy decided to do when he saw a drowning fawn in the river. These officers arrived on the scene shortly after the bombing and heard the squeals of a puppy coming from a pile of concrete. They frantically dug through a dense pile of rubble, and then a miracle reunion happened. Someone was cruel enough to abandon this mother dog and her newborn puppies by a roadside ditch. Fortunately, this passerby got wind of the situation and moved in quickly to rescue the mother dog and her puppies. This is the heartbreaking story of Jambo the lion, who was abused and left unable to walk. Luckily, animal rescuers managed to get him removed from the facility and transported to a new home closer to his favorite woman. Now the bad days are gone, and he even gets visits from the woman who saved him. This king cobra found its way to the city after a few weeks without rain. While everyone fled the scene, this good man stepped forward to save him from heat exhaustion. This croc has been living with a tire around its neck for 6 years. Its fortune changed when a bird catcher finally lured it into a trap, got the job done, and released it back into the wild. Imagine how good it must have felt for the croc. This dog was involved in an accident that got him an open fracture to his front leg. The vet took care of him, and luckily, after a leg amputation surgery, he gradually returned to a happy life over several weeks. What goes up must come down, and that's true for goats as well. That was the case for this animal dangling up high from an electric cable. It was definitely a challenge, but they made it. This leopard got itself in a tight spot when it accidentally got its head stuck in a water pot and wandered around for 6 hours. Later, forest officials tranquilized the animal and took the pot off. We all love our dogs, but how far would you go to rescue a beloved pet from danger? This woman showed her mettle and selflessness when she jumped into a frozen swimming pool to rescue her dog. These 2 young elephants washed out to sea around 5 miles off the coast of Sri Lanka. After a giant effort involving Navy divers, ropes, and a fleet of boats, the rescuers managed to tow them back to shallow waters. Not a lot of people would manage to keep calm at the sight of a predatory leopard, let alone dare to go near one. But this man risked his own life to save the one of a female leopard stuck in a well. This man was out for a walk when he noticed a dog had collapsed on the sidewalk. He ran up and performed CPR to save his life. He deserves a Medal of Honor. What would you do if a shark asked you for help? This guy didn't think twice when he had to remove a hook stuck in this shark's mouth. Babies always get themselves in sticky situations, and it was no different for this little fox. He was unable to untangle himself until this kind guy heard him crying for help. He even gave him a massage to help him get back on his feet.
Right, like that.
He's looking at you yet.
Alright, fella. Nearly got me.
Too slow.
Here I am trying to help you.
Yeah, he looks in shock, doesn't he? There he goes.
Yeah, thanks, bud.
This dog was struggling to survive. She was drowning down a well, clinging desperately to the rocky sides to keep herself afloat. That's when these rescuers arrived just in time to save her and give her the life she deserves. These two deer mysteriously managed to get stranded in the middle of a completely frozen lake for several days, until this father-son duo arrived and towed the poor animals to land using hovercrafts.
I'm thinking we should just grab their feet with some rope and then let's grab that other leg. Yeah, let's get that other front leg.
This guy heard some squeals in his backyard and found a baby deer stuck between two fences. Surprisingly, the mom was remarkably calm during the encounter. She probably sensed their goodness.
You're okay, little Mama, see? I got your feet. No one wants to hurt her. There you go.
Wild foxes aren't known to hang around humans, but that changed for this little fox that turned to this man for help after getting stuck in a jar. Look at him run back freely to the forest. Crows are known to be very smart, and this is a good example. It pecked on the water bottle to let the family know it was thirsty, drank a bit, and got back to his regular business. This poor bear got tangled up in a wire trap and was desperately trying to free itself, until this group of hikers arrived just in time to rescue him. They tranquilized the giant animal before setting him free after sterilizing its wounded leg.
Gördünüz mü bakın sistemi görün.
These guys were out fishing when they found something very different than a fish. Two kittens swam towards their boat after being dumped on an island.
They're twins.
These two guys brought them back home to safety. The rescue team received a call about a dog stuck in a frozen lake. They pulled up and did what they do best: saved the poor animal from certain death. Now here's something heartwarming. This thirsty koala approached a group of cyclists and asked for water. The desperate animal climbed on the bike to get a good sip from the bottle.
Very thirsty boy.
Now here's something you have to see to believe. These fishermen went the extra mile to protect this green anaconda trapped in a fishing net before releasing it into the forest. This is the heartwarming moment a frightened horse was rescued after being trapped in a drain hole for 3 hours. Look at the incredible job these firefighters did at saving his life. Staff at a wildlife park in Kenya spotted this giraffe roaming with a tire stuck around its neck. That's when they stepped in to rescue her from the unfortunate situation. These magpies somehow stuck their heads between the fence before this kind-hearted man stepped in and slowly lifted each bird to freedom. This giant manta ray was entangled by a fishing net and approached scuba divers for help. After several attempts, these divers finally managed to remove it, allowing the creature to live with no pain. Imagine how good it must have felt for the ray. This family was fishing on a lake when they spotted a bear cub with a plastic jar stuck on its head. After several attempts at moving their boat next to the bear and removing the jar, they were finally able to free him of this burden.
Not only just don't want him crawling in here either. Let's get it off. Yes, gotcha. Yeah, go.
This deer was sinking in a mud pit and couldn't even move until these guys showed up. They tied a rope around her antlers and dragged her to safety before offering the dehydrated animal bottled water.
Patrz, normalnie otwiera buźkę.
She got back on her legs and ran back to nature. This guy heard the squeals of an alarmed monkey mother who lost its baby, so he decided to do the right thing and reunite them, creating this heartwarming moment. This squirrel spotted the water bottle in this guy's hand, got up on two legs, and repeatedly begged until he leaned down to offer him some water. A thirsty kitty is seen leaning on a water fountain, but is unable to drink water until this kind human enters the scene. The man gave it a quick pat on the back and opened the faucet for him. This dog fell into a freezing river in Amsterdam, but thanks to this brave woman who jumped into the water, his life was saved. As we say, teamwork makes the dream work. The Australian bushfires were blazing, but when this woman saw a stranded koala, she knew there was only one option for her, and it was to save it. She took her shirt off her back, carried the poor koala, gave it a drink, and drove it to a safe location.
We'll get going in a second.
These orcas were hunting until they accidentally got stuck on the shore. That's when a crowd of people showed up and gathered to help push the killer whales back to sea using the waves. This guy was filming a YouTube vlog when he heard noises coming from a nearby dumpster. He peered inside and was shocked to see 7 pairs of little brown eyes looking back at him. These raccoons were stuck, but this guy knew what he had to do.
Oh, okay. Oh, 1 little, 2 little, 3 little raccoons. Where the hell? All right, you're welcome. Bye, guys. Go back home.
This poor baby bird fell down the nest and couldn't get back up, so this guy made sure that it stayed hydrated and offered a few sips from his water bottle. Killer whales are some of the most vicious predators on Earth, but this penguin decided it was not going to be his last day. He hopped on the boat full of people until the orca left and it could swim safely.
Leaving the penguin safe with his new friends.
This yellow-throated toucan lost nearly half of his beak when teenagers attacked him with sticks. Thankfully, scientists made a 3D printed beak that mimics the functions of the original, so he can be a healthy bird again. This giraffe fell into the pool during the night and luckily landed on the net, but then got trapped in it. Watch a dozen men pull her out of the pool with a lot of effort and determination. This footage shows the touching moment brave firefighters rescued 150 pigs and their tiny piglets from a huge barn fire. In the video, the terrified animals could be heard squealing as they were taken to safety. Swans are very protective parents and can be very aggressive. That's what happened when this guy attempted to free the youngster stuck in a fence near the river. The trick is to stay calm and focus on the job.
All right, come on, back down. It's all right, we're fine. We're good. All right, baby. Come on, come on. Look, here you are, look. Good boy, come on. Go on, here's a good boy. Go and protect your baby.
Something was bothering the sea turtle, so it swam to a diver for help. It turns out that a sea snail hijacked a free ride on the sea turtle's back. The turtle even hung out a bit to thank him. Elephants are known to be very protective and can get aggressive to protect their young. That's what happened when these guys attempted to rescue a baby elephant who fell into the swimming pool. All it needed was to be guided towards the steps. If you enjoyed the video, watch this one next. Unfortunately, there's no rescue service in the animal world, and sometimes they find themselves in such terrible situations that it becomes our duty to come to their aid. This man was out for a walk when he noticed a dog had collapsed on the sidewalk. He ran up and performed CPR to save his life. He deserves a Medal of Honor. What would you do if a shark asked you for help? This guy didn't think twice when he had to remove a hook stuck in this shark's mouth. Babies always get themselves in sticky situations, and it was no different for this little fox. He was unable to untangle himself until this kind guy heard him crying for help. He even gave him a massage to help him get back on his feet.
Right, like that.
He's looking at you yet.
All right, fella. Nearly got me.
Too slow.
Here I am trying to help you.
Yeah, he looks in shock, doesn't he? There he goes.
Yeah, thanks, bud.
This dog was struggling to survive. She was drowning down a well, clinging desperately to the rocky sides to keep herself afloat. That's when these rescuers arrived just in time to save her and give her the life she deserves. These two deer mysteriously managed to get stranded in the middle of a completely frozen lake for several days, until this father-son duo arrived and towed the poor animals to land using hovercrafts.
They appear to be just fine. I'm thinking we should just grab their feet with some rope and then let's grab that other leg. Yeah, let's get that other front leg.
This guy heard some squeals in his backyard and found a baby deer stuck between two fences. Surprisingly, the mom was remarkably calm during the encounter. She probably sensed their goodness.
You're okay, little Mama, see? I got your feet. No one wants to hurt her. There you go.
Wild foxes aren't known to hang around humans, but that changed for this little fox that turned to this man for help after getting stuck in a jar. Look at him run back freely to the forest. Crows are known to be very smart, and this is a good example. It pecked on the water bottle to let the family know it was thirsty, drank a bit, and got back to his regular business. This poor bear got tangled up in a wire trap and was desperately trying to free itself, until this group of hikers arrived just in time to rescue him. They tranquilized the giant animal before setting him free after sterilizing its wounded leg.
Gördünüz mü bakın sistemi görün.
These guys were out fishing when they found something very different than a fish. 2 kittens swam towards their boat after being dumped on an island.
They're twins.
These 2 guys brought them back home to safety. The rescue team received a call about a dog stuck in a frozen lake. They pulled up and did what they do best: saved the poor animal from certain death. Now here's something heartwarming. This thirsty koala approached a group of cyclists and asked for water. The desperate animal climbed on the bike to get a good sip from the bottle.
Very thirsty boy.
Now here's something you have to see to believe. These fishermen went the extra mile to protect this green anaconda trapped in a fishing net before releasing it into the forest. This is the heartwarming moment a frightened horse was rescued after being trapped in a drain hole for 3 hours. Look at the incredible job these firefighters did at saving his life. Staff at a wildlife park in Kenya spotted this giraffe roaming with a tire stuck around its neck. That's when they stepped in to rescue her from the unfortunate situation. These magpies somehow stuck their heads between the fence before this kind-hearted man stepped in and slowly lifted each bird to freedom. This giant manta ray was entangled by a fishing net and approached scuba divers for help. After several attempts, these divers finally managed to remove it, allowing the creature to live with no pain. Imagine how good it must have felt for the ray. This family was fishing on a lake when they spotted a bear cub with a plastic jar stuck on its head. After several attempts at moving their boat next to the bear and removing the jar, they were finally able to free him of this burden.
Not only just don't want him crawling in here either. Let's get it off. Yes! Gotcha. Yeah, go.
This deer was sinking in a mud pit and couldn't even move until these guys showed up. They tied a rope around her antlers and dragged her to safety before offering the dehydrated animal bottled water.
Patrz, normalnie otwiera buźkę.
She got back on her legs and ran back to nature. This guy heard the squeals of an alarmed monkey mother who lost its baby, so he decided to do the right thing and reunite them, creating this heartwarming moment. This squirrel spotted the water bottle in this guy's hand, got up on 2 legs, and repeatedly begged until he leaned down to offer him some water. A thirsty kitty is seen leaning on a water fountain, but is unable to drink water until this kind human enters the scene. The man gave it a quick pat on the back and opened the faucet for him. This dog fell into a freezing river in Amsterdam, but thanks to this brave woman who jumped into the water, his life was saved. As we say, teamwork makes the dream work. The Australian bushfires were blazing, but when this woman saw a stranded koala, she knew there was only one option for her, and it was to save it. She took her shirt off her back, carried the poor koala, gave it a drink, and drove it to a safe location.
We'll get going in a second.
These orcas were hunting until they accidentally got stuck on the shore. That's when a crowd of people showed up and gathered to help push the killer whales back to sea using the waves. This guy was filming a YouTube vlog when he heard noises coming from a nearby dumpster. He peered inside and was shocked to see 7 pairs of little brown eyes looking back at him. These raccoons were stuck, but this guy knew what he had to do.
Oh, okay. Oh, 1 little, 2 little, 3 little raccoons. Where the hell? All right, you're welcome. Bye, guys. Go back home.
This poor baby bird fell down the nest and couldn't get back up, so this guy made sure that it stayed hydrated and offered a few sips from his water bottle. Killer whales are some of the most vicious predators on Earth, but this penguin decided it was not going to be his last day. He hopped on the boat full of people until the orca left and it could swim safely.
Leaving the penguin safe with his new friends.
This yellow-throated toucan lost nearly half of his beak when teenagers attacked him with sticks. Thankfully, scientists made a 3D printed beak that mimics the functions of the original, so he can be a healthy bird again. This giraffe fell into the pool during the night and luckily landed on the net, but then got trapped in it. Watch a dozen men pull her out of the pool with a lot of effort and determination. This footage shows the touching moment brave firefighters rescued 150 pigs and their tiny piglets from a huge barn fire. In the video, the terrified animals could be heard squealing as they were taken to safety. Swans are very protective parents and can be very aggressive. That's what happened when this guy attempted to free the youngster stuck in a fence near the river. The trick is to stay calm and focus on the job.
All right, come on, back down. It's all right, we're fine. We're good. All right, baby. Come on then. Come on. Look. Here you are, look. Good boy. Come on. Go on. Here's a good boy. Go and protect your baby.
Something was bothering the sea turtle, so it swam to a diver for help. It turns out that a sea snail hijacked a free ride on the sea turtle's back. The turtle even hung out a bit to thank him. Elephants are known to be very protective and can get aggressive to protect their young. That's what happened when these guys attempted to rescue a baby elephant who fell into the swimming pool. All it needed was to be guided towards the steps. If you enjoyed the video, watch this one next.